All right, folks, on today's Field Tips video, we're going to learn how to do two different styles of tie-on nocks. One's going to be fixed and the other one's going to be adjustable, so stick around. All right, so I've already got my bowstring served and I have got two different pieces of serving here. This is the same size serving that I used to serve the string. Now, when you go to do these tie-on nocks, the only critical part about the serving is that whatever you're using to do the tie-on nock, the serving has to be the same size or bigger than the serving that's already on the string. Otherwise, when you go to cinch this thing down, your serving, if it's a smaller size serving, it can get down in between these serving strands and it just doesn't work very well. So the same size or bigger and it'll work just fine. Now, the first style of serving that I'm going to show you how to do is one that you can adjust. So you can screw this thing up or down, the serving that's on the bow during the tuning process, or if you're trying to figure out where your nock height needs to be. And so to get started with that one, so I've got a piece of serving here that's probably, I don't know, 14, 15 inches long. That's probably a little bit longer than we need, but that's what I have, so that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to take a tag end to this, 6 inches or so, lay it on the string, and then I'm going to put my finger right on top of it. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then where these cross underneath the string, I'm going to put my finger on there to hold them in place. Then I'm going to slide my finger out of there. Now this is the tricky part. You've got this one that's underneath. It's not really tricky, just have to do it a time or two to get used to it. Now I'm going to take this other end, put it underneath there. Now where these two pieces are crossing in here, what you want to do is tie a knot, like an overhand knot in those. So I'm just going to take this one and go underneath that one. I know this looks like a jumbled mess right now, but I'm going to try to straighten it out here in a minute. Okay, so this little knot right here is what I was talking about. So I've got these two pieces that cross, they're making a knot here, and these other ones are wrapping over the top of them. Now you don't want to tighten that knot down yet. So now I've got 3 parallel lines and then they cross underneath right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get a rough position for where we want this thing. Right about there. All right, so this little nock here, it makes a pretty small little nock which I like, but it's not so tight that you can't just twist this thing to adjust your knock height up or down. The next one I'm going to show you is much tighter, and it's a bigger knock, and it's going to be fixed. You're not going to be able to move it. So for that one, we're going to double a piece over. We're going to lay it on there, and then we're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this little loop that we formed here, that loop that, or that tag in that we were wrapping, we're going to put that right up through there. Now, that loop that you captured this part in, you're going to have to pull up underneath these wraps here. So now that loop is right in the middle. So those two strands are kind of like this underneath this thing. And to close this one off, I'm actually going to slide that up a little bit before I do that to make a bottom knock here. To close this thing off and cinch it down, you can either tie a loop in this, a bowline knot or some other kind of whatever you can tie in there. That'll work. Stick that in there. Or you can just grab the end with some pliers and cinch her down on there tight. And this is a really easy, quick knock to tie, but once it's on there, it's on there. You can't twist this one very easily. You might be able to break it loose and twist it, but I've never had much success doing that. There you go. That'll work perfect.